Hey guys, it's Alex with Paragon Performance. Today we're going to be installing the Maxton Designs Aero Kit for the C8 Corvette. There's two different designs. Today we're actually going to be installing the Paragon exclusive one. It's going to be the one that has the winglets on. Installation is pretty much the same for both. They're made from ABS plastic, makes them a lot more durable, also makes them more cost effective if you were to damage one. Let's get to the install. All right, for this install, we're gonna need a 1/4 inch ratchet, a 7mm socket, a 3/16 drill bit, a T15 Torx, a roll of 3/4 inch wide blue masking tape. You will need a rivet installing tool with a 3/16 mandrel and a drill. You don't need a lift for this install, however, it will make things a lot easier if you can raise and support the vehicle. Make sure you do it safely, use jack stands. All right, we're gonna start at the front of the car and get the front lip installed. Let's get this prepped so we can get it put on. We're gonna start here on the front lip. These will come with a plastic protective film on them. You can remove it now, you can remove it right before you permanently install it. On the front lip here, there's gonna be several dimples here that kind of follow around this edge on both sides. Those are gonna be the points that we're going to drill using a 3/16 drill bit. There will be a couple that you won't be able to drill out just because of the structure that's underneath these. So you'll have two of them here just off center, and then you'll have two more here inboard of the point here where the bumper is that we won't be able to drill. All the other ones will be able to drill. There's also a few of them back here. Let's get to drilling. Now we've got all our holes drilled in it. Let's get it put on the car. We're gonna start here by removing the front lip. We're gonna remove the 21 screws around the outside. We also need to remove these 4 screws. All right, well, let's get this lip installed here. You're gonna use the Phillips headed screws that are provided with the kit to install these. And just loosely install them for now until you get all the screws in. Now that we've got the screws all started, let's go through and tighten them all down. Next step, we're going to install the side skirts. Drilling the hole in the side skirt. This is going to be the Paragon one. It does have a dimple back here. This dimple is going to line up with a factory screw. The other design, however, the dimples that they put in there do not line up with the factory screws. Find a way to transfer where the factory screws would touch, so that way you can use those factory rear mounting holes. We're gonna get this passenger side skirt installed. First thing we're gonna wanna do, there's a frame rail that runs underneath this, so we do need to make sure that the holes that we drill for the rivets are going to be outside of the frame rail towards the outside edge of this car. Easy way to do this, the screw here on the front, behind the front tire for the mud flap, is actually on the correct side of the frame rail, so we're gonna use that as a reference point. And then back here towards the rear, you can see the frame rail where the body is kind of cut around it. So we're gonna use this edge of the body line here as our rear point. Just gonna use some blue masking tape. So stick it, stretch out a long piece of it. As long as our holes are drilled to the outside of the vehicle of the tape, we will be golden. We'll end up putting one rivet back here towards the rear, and then we'll have 3 of them that go along the front to hold the front on. Let's grab the side skirt, get started installing it. Depending on which side skirt you have purchased, this process is a little different. If you got the Paragon one, it will use this screw here. The side skirt is actually dimpled and will line up with that screw. If you purchase the standard one, we will need to transfer the location of these 2 screws onto the side skirt. And the easy way to do that will be to line the side skirt up, have a helper help you hold the side skirt maybe to the car. Just kind of set it into place where it needs to be. Take a small dead blow hammer, and then you can kind of whack the bottom of the side skirt here, hold it up tight, and then smack the bottom of it where these 2 screws are, and it'll leave a mark on the top side for you. then you can pull it out and off the car and be able to drill those holes out. And they'll be pretty close. You can always drill the hole out just a little bit bigger as well, just to give you a little more play and some adjustment. So we're installing the Paragon one, so our screw already lines up. So we're gonna get that taken care of. You're gonna grab your 7mm socket and remove this screw. And then we are going to set the side skirt in place using that pre-dimpled hole on the Paragon one and install the screw. You can install it most of the way, just leave it a little bit loose so you have some room to make adjustments. So we got to drill 4 holes here along this area, keeping in mind to stay on the outside edge of the tape so we don't drill holes into the frame rail, just drilling holes into the actual body panel to install the rivets. We're going to use a 3/16 drill bit to do this, as well as you're going to use the 3/16 rivets that were provided with the kit. So it's going to be important to make sure that you keep this in the position that it needs to be in. This is where having a helper while you're doing this is handy, because you want to make sure that obviously you're drilling the holes and it's going to be lined up where it needs to be when you are completed. And keeping it up close to the body here will help you. So we have our tape here, knowing that we need to drill the hole closer to the outside edge of the vehicle. Kind of eyeball it where you think it needs to be. And we're going to drill this one here first. And then what I like to do is I'll take one of the rivets and I'll just go ahead and put it up through there, because that'll actually kind of help hold the panel in place for you. It does make it a little more difficult in this section because it's kind of hard to see the tape. That's why I wanted to put the tape there. You can kind of get a judged idea start to finish where it needs to be. And we'll need to put one in here, one here about where his hand is at, and then one towards the front. All right, so now that we've got that on there, let's remove the tape out of here. Using your rivet tool with a 3/16 mandrel, we're going to install these rivets. These ones are actually really easy to install. So put them in, push up good and firm, and squeeze the handle a handful of times until the rivet pops off. That one's done. We'll do the same for the other 3. All right, that one's good to go. You got to repeat the same exact thing for the other side. Now that we got the side skirts on, let's wrap things up by installing the rear diffuser. There are going to be 4 holes that we need to drill. They are dimpled, matching where the bowl holes would be at on the factory bumper. We're going to pre-install the double-sided tape that's included in the kit. There's 4 of them. Just place them out evenly across here. That way they're prepped and ready when we go to install it. All right, so we're gonna have to remove these 4 T15 screws. There's 2 on either side below the exhaust tips. The double-sided tape is gonna stick to a few different places across the back of the rear bumper. So we're gonna take your quick detailer of choice and we're gonna wipe the surface clean so the tape has a good clean surface to stick to. All right, so we're gonna start here and install these screws just hand tight for now. All right, so the next thing we're gonna have to do is you can pull this down, use a small screwdriver or a little pocket knife, something very gently, so you can peel the backing off the double-sided tape here. And then repeat this process for the other 4. Don't stick them down until you're ready to stick all 4 of them. And then just firmly stick it into place. Now we just need to go through and tighten those T15s, the 4 on the back, and then don't forget to tighten the 7mm screw as well on the side skirts. There you have it. It's a pretty simple install, something you can do in your garage with a jack and jack stands in a couple hours. Add some aggressive styling to the car as well. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys next time.